What if I started talking like those people on ASMR? A quick fresh. Hello, sweet friends. Welcome to the Budtender Diaries podcast. Today I have some really exciting guests joining me, and probably the most fun episode I will ever get to film on this podcast. But we have Nyomi Barrick, one of our longtime favorite guests. I say that. It's been one episode, but welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm happy to have you here. And then, please don't hate me. I always get your name wrong.
It's okay.
And
It's Lila Moreno.
Lila Moreno.
Yeah.
I call you Lila more than I would like to.
Some people
admit.
do. It's okay. It's
I
spelled
go
with an
back
I.
and forth. Yeah,
It happens.
I'll have confidence in one, and then my brain will like switch it up, and it'll convince me. No, it's Lila.
I always tell people, think of Captain Taranga Lila on Futurama. She's got purple hair. Her name is Lila. It's an easy way to remember.
That is perfect.
Literally, that's perfect.
I
Yeah,
love
Captain
that.
Lila.
So Lila is the owner of Mimosa Creek Mixology.
Yes.
And that is the event space that we will be hosting the Budtender Appreciation Brunch at. So we thought we would get together today and just talk about the event, kind of talk about some exciting things happening in the cannabis industry. And then Lila is also going to talk about some of her CBD flower that she brought for us today, and the pre-rolls that she rolls up with other plant-based medicines. So very excited.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So to get started, I really wanted to just right off the bat, this event is coming up.
Yeah.
We want all of you to be there.
Yes. Don't miss it.
Yes, there are going to be a lot of really great educational opportunities, whether you're a budtender or a patient. I really feel like you're going to benefit leaving this event like feeling more knowledgeable and confident in the way that you shop for cannabis, especially from the great vendors that we're going to have there. So they're really going to offer a lot of education and transparency. But yeah, so we're going to have a CBD cash bar provided by Mimosa Creek. And Lila has made some little beverages for us here
They're
today.
so good.
The hibiscus syrup is actually my most popular drink. I bring this to pretty much every event because it always sells out. This is a hibiscus syrup that has some cloves, ginger, and cinnamon in it. And so it works really well with the cucumber, and it's infused with some Delta-8 THC seltzer, also derived from hemp. Okay. Everything I do with the cocktails is hemp derived so that anyone can enjoy it. You don't have to have a patient card. You don't have to be someone who's into THC. You can still enjoy it.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting market to see is the Delta-8 market and where it goes from here. I know right now there's not a lot of regulation on it, so
there's not
an interesting.
We distribute these Loyal Hemp products. They're made by our very good friend in Illinois, and we also make infused products here in Oklahoma City. Excuse me. And one thing that people always ask us, because there is no FDA guidance for CBD and hemp products in food items, they have not issued. They're refraining from issuing that. They ask how we handle our safety, and what we actually do is do full panel testing and make sure that we're FDA equivalent with all of our products. So when they ever do issue guidelines, we'll be ready to go because we do full panel lab testing on every single batch to make sure our potency is exactly on point. And so that's why I feel really confident using those products in my mixology. I like to it's not just the event space. I also love to do pop-up catering. I do pop-up bars, or I can cater private parties and events as well.
And for the most part, you provide the beverages. Do you also provide the pre-rolls for parties?
I can, yes. Actually, I sometimes make custom ones. This is one that has a little bit of gold and is decorated. Sometimes I make those beautiful for parties. I can do different colors, different flavors, whatever you like. So yes, I can definitely bring the pre-rolls. Whenever I do the pop-up bar, I always bring some of these along with me. These are rose wrapped or palm wrapped. And I always have these on the bar because, especially at my place, because we are cannabis friendly and we do allow for private parties, people to consume cannabis. Sometimes people come and they don't know that. And so this way we have an option for them to just grab a little blunt. It's a great social smoke because it's very, very low in THC. So you're really not going to get high, but you get to enjoy the benefits of the CBD and all of these plant terpenes. I also like to add other botanicals, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
the rose to get all that geraniol, the linalool from the lavender. And by adding some of these, you can get that really full experience without getting high, or some people don't like to consume in a social setting, because it can cause a little bit of anxiety or awkwardness. So this is a good option for that. So I always bring those to the parties too, as an option for people who are curious, or maybe they're a cannabis smoker, but they don't want to do that in public.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works for a lot of those things.
CBD is an interesting way to like dip your toes into cannabis. I think it's really nice that you don't have to worry about like that overwhelming head buzz that makes you never want to medicate again sometimes.
Yes. And it happens to me sometimes, even as a seasoned cannabis user. I happened to me a few nights ago. I took a different edible than I was used to, and it was a little much. And so I was taking a lot of CBD, and then it brought me back down. But it can happen. And so if you're not sure, it's safer to go with the CBD flower.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, this is great. I think like whenever we consider patients, there is a lot of focus on like Delta 9 THC and cannabis consumption and medicine and all of that jazz. But we don't think about making like the cannabis plant accessible to everyone. And so that's exactly what you're doing, is you're offering a cannabis product to people that don't necessarily want the most commonly seeked out cannabinoid. And so that's just really impressive.
Thank you. We actually have a seltzer that has CBG to give people an alternative to caffeine, or something that's a little more of a daytime feeling, because
that's also
there are
an
so many
appetite stimulant, right?
Absolutely. It's been studied for digestion and nausea. It's very good for gut disorders. CBG was actually studied in children receiving chemotherapy, and they were given it intravenously and had zero nausea after their chemotherapy treatments. So it's something that is just beginning to be studied, but I feel the minor cannabinoids are actually where a lot of the potential lies. We know what THC does. It's a depressant. It's a sedative. It helps you sleep. It's fun. We know that, it's been explored.
Yeah.
But there's so many minor cannabinoids that haven't been. CBN being one of them, which has been studied for sleep and is a very sedative effect and can be very helpful. So.
Yeah. CBN is one that I'm back and forth on. I don't know how it affects me. Like in the, I feel like when I smoke older products, which this could be a whole different story. It could not be CBN. I just associate that with
with degraded
life.
THC. Yeah.
But I'll tend to get a little bit of anxiety. So I haven't dove into CBN products yet, but maybe I should when I'm in like a safe environment.
That's one I approach with caution. I would say it's very useful, but in a much smaller concentration. I find I tolerate it in smaller concentrations than some others.
Come here, Ellie.
I think she wants something.
Did you guys want to try to roll some joints? Do we want to try to do that on here?
I think I'm going to do a little wedding cake and rose. How does that sound?
That sounds so good.
That sounds lovely.
That smells so good.
Here.
That sounds like sweet. Like, not just like sweet. Is it okay if this grinder has a little bit?
Yes,
okay.
that's...
I figured.
Yes. In fact, after this, I might be like, so let's check out that black marshmallow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes.
You have been studying some different things in school. Maybe you could talk about, give us a little grad student
update. You
update.
wanna know what I'm learning about?
Yes.
You wanna know what I spend my weekends doing? I'm just gonna give a basic introduction of my master's program because I'm talking about it like people know and they probably don't know.
Oh yeah, I didn't really introduce you. I was just like, she's been here before.
Yeah. Hello.
You should tell people it's really exciting what you're doing.
It is. Okay, so right. I am a graduate student with the University of Maryland Baltimore, and through their School of Pharmacy, they have a master's in medical cannabis and therapeutics. It's a 2-year program, and we have summer courses in between that first and second, like, normal school year. My class size is fairly, I would assume we're close to 200.
That's so cool.
It's really cool, and it just keeps growing. I'll be in the 3rd graduating class in 2023, and along with just the class size and what year we'll be graduating, the age ranges vary. Like, I think at the first symposium they told us that it was anywhere from 20 to 75. Like, that is the age range of like me and my classmates.
Wow.
I don't know what the average age is, but that would be fun to figure out. I might bring that up. Yeah, I might bring that up in the next meeting. Like,
that's very cool.
yes. And it's really neat. One thing that they showed us in the meeting yesterday was one of the alumni put together you can interact with this map of the United States. And what he did was and I don't know the extent of it. This was my first introduction to it. But basically what he did was you can put filters on for the type of position you're looking for in the cannabis industry. And then he did a ton of research, I'm assuming, and created this system where if I wanted to put the filters in, I could search for like technically my dream job if I wanted, which is so cool. I don't know if y'all have heard of word clouds, but they use word clouds in different, like from Indeed, to kind of see what most common words were for cannabis related job postings, and they utilize that. It was really cool. Every semester they have us attend an in-person symposium, and at that symposium is where we get to meet our classmates and meet the professors. They host a breakout sessions for us, and there's typically like 4 tracks. So there's the advocacy track, entrepreneur, they do a case study track, and one more that's not coming to mind.
What track are you on?
Oh, so they just rotate them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they split up the room into like 3 sections or 4 sections because there's 4 tracks, and so the speakers will walk around the area, and so we get to hear from everyone, which is really great.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's so cool. So that's where I get to interact with my classmates in person. Other things related to like the graduate program is because it is a new program and everyone is coming from different backgrounds. What they've done is they've created the course content to be like accessible to everybody. Whether you just graduated college or if you've been out of college for years and you're a little bit rusty on some like science and whatnot, they have curated the courses so that they are accessible, and the professors are amazing. I had COVID last month and I'm taking 2 courses on top of working and whatnot, and I messaged them like, can I please get an extension? And they were so gracious. Like they could have just said yes, but they were like, oh my goodness, yes, you're taking 2 classes. I can't imagine how you're feeling. Like if you need extra time, please take extra time. Like we really want you to be happy and healthy, and don't even worry about it, which was just so encouraging. So they're super supportive. A lot of our professors actually work with students in ways that they can just like engage with us, which is really nice. So they'll attend conferences. Like if a student is attending a conference and they want that extra like body there, that's a professor, has that doctorate or whatnot, like they're willing to go and be there. And so it's a really great community that's developing there, especially with all of our different backgrounds. Like it's insane the conversations that we're having. It's so cool. But yeah, I really
that is so
enjoy
exciting to me. I mean, I finished my master's in 2000, and so this never would have been possible. Like it's just amazing to me to see that it's being embraced and all the programs that are developing, because I think cannabis is such an important product, medicine, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agricultural product, medicine, food product.
Oh, I'm so big on the ag
tell you.
part. Yeah, I'm so big on the agriculture part. Like,
yes,
I personally just have some frustrations. Just myself, I have a hard time engaging with people that have an academic background like mine with the bachelor's in plant and soil science, and seeing cannabis as like a crop, a commodity. Growers are farmers, and they have a responsibility there. We have a responsibility to the farmers, and then they have a responsibility to the environment too. And so those are just things that I want to speak more about, but a lot of people are focused on just like the medical side of it. And last night I was just like, we can talk about the medical side of it all day long, but we can't even have cannabis unless we know how to grow it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you for saying that. I
Thank
needed
you.
to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like people are going to stop growing it medically because it's a huge cash crop. But what we need to see is people growing it agriculturally for all the other products.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hemp is so important, part of the process as well, part of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the fibers in hemp have like endless opportunities.
I love to tell people, because I'm big on the advocacy and the legal side of it, and I love to tell people that the first law in America about hemp was that farmers were required to grow it because they needed it for fiber, for animal fuel, and that prior to Prohibition, people who were feeding on animals that were fed with hemp had far better health outcomes because of the CBD they were getting from the meat.
Wow.
And there's been a resurgence in people experimenting with hemp-fed animals as a better, healthier meat source. So people just need to realize that this is the way it was always done before Prohibition and before people came in with plastics and pharmaceuticals. This was a better option, and it's what everyone was doing. The difference it makes in the soil, the use of pesticides, the use of water, it just makes so much sense for our resources. So I'm so excited to see you passionate about it in a program that's supporting you. That means a lot to me as an old lady.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just want people to know that this is an option for them. And I mean, again, like the backgrounds of everyone vary so much. So I mean, if you're sitting there thinking I shouldn't, I can't, you should. And you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're wonderful. The community is great. Like, the students we have a separate, like, page on Facebook where we talk, and it's just, like, there's rants and vents and whatnot, and just things like that where it's like, I need help, I'm not understanding, and you just see, let's hop on a Zoom, I'll help you, whatnot, like, or prepare yourselves. I already finished the class, but I remember this assignment coming up, and I'm here to offer help. Like, they're so helpful.
That's amazing.
So
Very
it's
cool.
it's an amazing like community. So
see, in the end, yours turned out cuter than mine.
Oh no, not at all. Mine is like kind of wonky. Look at it. It's like hurt.
I don't even know what mine would look like.
Do you want me to walk you through it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just smelled, what was this one?
This is Sour Lifter.
Okay, I smelled it and I was like, yes, it just smells happy.
It's more of a sativa. It's a little more uplifting terpene profile.
I kind of picked up on that.
The sweeter is a little more relaxing. I mean, geraniol is always going to be a very relaxing terpene from the roses.
There was an Ellie hair on here.
Dude.
Okay, do you want the wedding or the citrus?
The sour or the
Let's do
sweet?
The sour.
Okay.
Sour.
Okay. We need to grind some up for you.
Have you been feeling sour lately?
Me? I've definitely been feeling like I'm becoming more inclined toward uplifting rather than relaxing.
Good.
I'm gonna light this. You give her some instructions.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna start with the papers.
Okay.
That's gonna be your filter. Okay. I'm trying to think if you should grind up a little bit more.
It doesn't look very much. Like
Yeah,
it's
let's
very
grind
much.
up
Yeah, do a little
bit
more.
I shall grind it up. No, we're learning about
Thank you.
You're welcome.
the cannabis genome. I think
love Rose.
it was first like they completely sequenced the DNA of cannabis in 2015. I think.
That was the first time?
I think so. If I'm
Wow.
remembering that right. You can fact check me. That's okay. I
believe
learned
you.
it.
Would you like to hit this?
Yes, please.
Your fingers are so sticky.
It worked.
Yes.
Oh, that is amazing. One thing I love about CBD is I feel like it's so smooth. Like, I can just take bigger hits. I don't know. I really enjoy that.
I love it too. I mean, I'm a big cannabis smoker. I love cannabis, but I smoke CBD all the time too. Like if I'm getting ready to go to a meeting and I don't want to be spaced out, but I'm nervous, I'll smoke one of those before I leave the house, or I'll smoke, roll a little bit of CBD flower before I leave the house.
Yeah.
I also often use the hemp keef. This is just dry sifted keef from the hemp flower. And so when I smoke cannabis with Delta in it, I will add some of this CBD keef. And that way I'm getting more of a balanced ratio between the CBD and the THC. And that makes it last longer, I get more body relief from it because I'm hitting the second receptor. Yeah. And so it's slowing down the THC coming in and it's uptaking all that CBD. So it's nice to be able to play around with your own ratios.
It does
and
feel
find what
nice.
works for you by adding a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
No, that's fun.
Lavender is one of my more popular ones too. Lavender is high in linalool, caryophyllene, and myrcene. And
I didn't know about the caryophyllene.
Yeah, and so mostly linalool, but it does have some caryophyllene and some myrcene, so you get a lot of pain relief from it. They actually did a study on lavender essential oil and found that after surgery, 86% of patients asked for more anesthesia, but when they inhaled lavender oil, only 46% asked for more anesthesia. So they had a 40% reduction in the need for pain meds just from inhaling lavender oil.
Wow.
It's very powerful antibacterial, antifungal as well. I use it on my pets a lot.
A little tip for next time.
What?
I like to flatten the crease out a little bit on the
I'll just
paper.
do
Make it more of a U shape.
Oh, make it a U.
I just like usually run my fingers
that makes
along
sense
at one
because
time.
it's circular.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make another fold about 1/4 of an inch from that fold too, so it makes it like a trough. That can help if your material is really dry and kind of sliding out on you. Sometimes I'll make a second crease and it makes like a little flat bottom to put everything in, and then you can kind of work it.
The folks on YouTube are seeing this. Don't judge me.
That's how you're going to kind of create a boat. Like
There you go. A boat.
with it.
I got a boat. Is this a boat?
Yep. And then remove one hand and then you fill it.
Oh, I gotta hold it the whole time?
It's a lot easier if you have it in your hand already.
It's true. You can't pick it up filled. It'll all spill out.
Okay.
See, you're learning from some vets.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I literally just learned how to roll a joint.
So the reason I do my crutch first is I actually stick it in there and hold, because I make a really fat crutch. So I actually put mine in and hold it and use that for stability because I roll mine so fat. So that way I can kind of get a lot more in there. And then I roll it and then I'll take it out and tighten it back up and stick it back in at the end after I roll it. Everyone has their own.
I always roll mine way too loose. I'm still trying to figure out how to get them like super tight. So
it's hard, but if they're too tight, they don't work.
So you're going to sprinkle the flour in there and you don't have to worry about getting it tight yet.
Okay.
And once you have it like kind of spread out evenly,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to take your little boat.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of use your thumbs on the end here.
Yeah.
And you'll move your pointer finger to the top. And then kind of... Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
so scared.
And then do the other.
They're
and
doing
then
great.
you are doing so good. You'll kind of grab it in the middle here.
Yeah.
And then with both hands and pinch it. And you'll start kind of rolling it into itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how when you make a burrito and you have to pull it tight to you before you roll
Yeah.
it?
And
You're
you'll
like,
feel it start like
Wait.
starting to tighten up.
just roll it like this. Yeah, there you go.
That's what it reminds me of when I was a kid and like I would roll Play-Doh into like little logs.
When we were in high school, we'd use a dollar bill because we didn't know how to roll.
Yeah.
So you put it inside the dollar bill, and the dollar bill like makes it tighten up.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's smart.
And then you take it out and finish rolling it.
You're doing so good.
No, that's really good.
I'm getting discouraged.
Okay, so
It should
when
be
that
squished.
happens,
You're doing good.
you're so cute. And then when that happens, so you just take a finger and like press it back down in there. I went to cosmetology school, so I had to learn how to roll perms.
You did?
Very similar.
That's funny.
My
That's so funny.
instructor was actually like, "You should be great at this." Like, I was like, "I actually can't roll a joint."
That's funny. I think I kind of got part of it now. How does this look? Does this look like
It looks beautiful.
I think it looks good.
Okay, now what?
Okay. So now you're going to once you've gotten it tight,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to take the front side.
Did I do it wrong?
No, you're good. You're good. Okay. I'm going to be so proud of you once you've got
That's
this.
looking really good.
Oh, thank you. So much of it has fallen out of the sides.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You can always
shove some back in the end.
Yep. You're going to seal it starting from the center and working your way out like an envelope.
There you go. Yay!
You did it!
Yay!
Go,
Oh my
Papa
gosh. No. It's so sad. I tried.
Well, here's the good news. It can only look up from here.
There you go.
Y'all.
These are thin papers too.
It ripped.
I'm so proud of you, though. You tried.
You guys can use this flour in a new.
It took me like 25 before I got good. Don't worry
I'm
about
still
it.
terrible.
So this flower, you guys, I absolutely love. It is grown in Oregon in the Rogue Valley. And the reason that's important is it's a microclimate.
Oh,
So that's why they're able
nice.
to grow outdoors, but it's very sheltered and it's a very stable climate. So it prevents the flower from A, getting too much THC because it's stressed, and B, getting too much pollen blowing in from other areas. So
That's
they're
really
able to
cool.
make a really great product in that area. I'm still looking for that good indoor hemp flower in Oklahoma, but I can't convince anybody to grow it for me yet.
Yeah. I actually wrote an article about hempcrete sometime last year, and I learned so much. Like, honestly, hemp it's kind of crazy that we don't use it more in more industries. I'm really struggling to get these words out here, but
What's sad is it's deliberate, actually.
Yeah.
It's been deliberately cut out of opportunity
That's
to be
sad.
utilized.
But hempcrete is earthquake resistant, fire resistant. I'm pretty sure it's fireproof. It's water
is.
resistant. It like purifies the air around you. So like houses built from hempcrete. I don't know. I just learned so much. It's very cool.
It's funny you brought that up. In a past life, we had a business that was making houses that we were using actually recycled wood, but our plan was to make hemp, use hemp with it. But it was a recycled fly ash based concrete, similar to hempcrete, and we made a few houses, but we didn't get very far. This was in St. Louis, but I've been very excited also about its ability to remediate soil because hemp absorbs so many toxins from the soil. It's something that I feel has a huge potential for all of the abandoned well sites we have in Oklahoma, because we could plant hemp, burn that hemp, and it
Right.
would clean the soil.
That'd be very cool.
Or instead of burning it, turn it into hempcrete.
That's true.
Yeah.
If it's contaminated with pesticides and metals, though,
it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's
with
great.
the
Good to know.
hempcrete. That's like one of the points that I interviewed a girl,
But the quality
Jessie
doesn't matter.
Smith. She's amazing. I hope she's watching this. But she helped me write this article because she's just has a wealth of knowledge about hemp. But that's one thing that she taught me was that it's a great resource for all of these hemp companies to like get rid of their hemp that does test for pesticides and toxins, because nobody's consuming it and it's not like releasing those things into the air. It's actually absorbing them from the environment around it and cleaning up the air. Which
I'm
is
really
kinda
curious
crazy.
about this and how it like preserves itself, or what they put in it to preserve it.
It's very similar to adobe,
Yeah.
traditional adobe, in that it's chopped and mixed with mud, basically, and a little bit of cement.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, that is super cool.
So jumping back to the event for a second, I do want to reiterate that this is a free event open to the public. It is indoor and outdoor, so we do have like an indoor capacity that we'll have to watch, but other than that, there's going to be tons of shaded outdoor space.
Correct.
We're going to have a little consumption area out there, as well as vendors that are offering educational activities. I'm so excited about those. I'm going to be posting a lot about them by the time this podcast comes out, but some really exciting things going on there. And then inside, we'll have Nyomi's educational panel at, I believe, noon-ish.
Okay.
We'll post
I'll
about
remember that.
closer to the date. And then we'll have the cash bar for CBD.
That's
we'll have
right.
the
We'll have
pre-roll station.
CBD drinks. We'll have some hemp THC drinks for those that are interested in that. And we'll also have drinks for the kids with just fruit
Yes.
juices.
I'm also going to a team of family and friends are throwing together some snacks. So if you come early, there will be some like pastries and things
Nice.
like that.
Where is this located?
So this is at Mimosa Creek Mixology. It is 520.
We're at 520 North Meridian.
Okay.
The sign says Brewers Union. We're still working on the sign. We're new in that space. It's actually our manufacturing facility where we make infused drinks, and we have a tap room in the front. So it's at 520 North Meridian, and then we have a lot of shaded area on the side where we'll have vendors and our kids' activities.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Should be a great time. I
Yes.
believe I need to confirm this with her. So this may or may not make it into the podcast, but Taylor from Recycle Your Empties will be there. So you should be able to bring your empty containers from product and give those to her to recycle. I think just plastic right now.
Yeah.
But
we should just like shameless plug for Taylor. Like honestly,
she's amazing.
So needed.
Yeah, like it's just so cool. And it's from what I know, I haven't spoken to her in a few weeks, but like it's a one woman show. And she's just out here doing it on top of working, on top of, if you follow her and know about her life, like she does like yoga. Yeah. She's a yoga instructor. So proud of you.
Yeah, we
That's
love
really
what
great.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Great job.
And her account is like, her main account is Tay-Swizz. I'll try to like put it in the description, but she also has Recycle Your Empties. But yeah, she's doing some amazing things, and she will collect glass. She just asks that you like remove the stickers and clean it out because she is doing it by herself. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll have a lot of great things going on. Oh, and we'll be having a patient drive hosted by A Better Bloom Health and Wellness. So
Great.
I actually need a renewal. If anybody needs a renewal or a new patient card, you can get that at the event.
Something I did want to point out, like, yeah, we're educating patients. This is the Budtender Diaries. So if you are a Budtender and you're attending this event, like, definitely listen to the speakers and people who have dealt or do deal with patients, and take tips from them on like how to educate patients about the product. Maybe, listen to them. I think there's this phrase like, I hear you, but I hear you type of situation. So it's like a patient could come in and be like, yeah, man, I just like stay up all night playing video games. And like in that statement, what you hear is, oh, you like might need help sleeping or something. And so it's like, so if that's just sparking conversation, but being intentional with your questions and how, because most people that come into a dispensary, whether they realize it or not, are coming to get some sort of benefit that is going to impact them medicinally. Like, it's impossible to not get some sort of medicinal benefit. And so no matter what they are saying to you, at the end of the day, they're really telling you like their needs to a certain extent. It's just a matter of how well you can gauge that. And so being intentional with the patients is I'm going off on a little tangent myself.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I miss being behind the counter. I miss my patients.
I was literally just telling someone that the other day. I miss being in the dispensary more than anything.
Yeah.
So if any dispos want help for a day,
ask
hit
Anna.
me up. I miss you guys.
That's how I got into this, because I used to bartend and I loved it, and I loved talking to all the customers and the social aspect of it. And then I didn't do it for years, and then I didn't drink anymore, and now I get to do it again. We had an open house and I was like, this is so fun. I'm behind the bar and I'm talking to everybody. And because to me, there's something about cocktails that really, you've taken that intentional time to sit down for 20 minutes and talk with your friends and have this drink, and it's just this great
together.
pause.
Yeah.
And it's a little moment in your day. So.
Yeah.
I get that. I was struggling for a little bit because like I would go out and I just wouldn't really want to drink, but everybody around me was, and I just didn't want to be that weirdo that ordered like a virgin drink. But really I realized that I'm not weird for honoring my own boundaries.
Yes.
That was
So many bars are having non-alcoholic options now,
Mm-hmm.
actually.
Yeah.
We were back in St. Louis last week, and it was great because our product was in all the bars, because it's made like some of the stuff we make with our friend Josh.
Cool.
But it was great. I got to go to the show, and I turned to my right, and my friends were drinking non-alcoholic beer, and then I was drinking a cannabis seltzer, and then people over here were just drinking like water, and I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet the vibes there were like immaculate.
Absolutely. They had to be.
It was all about the band. Everyone was enjoying the music and hanging out. It was really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, they were really welcoming to those of us that didn't want to drink. And I appreciated it. So that's what I'm trying to do, is create a place where if you want to throw a party and have it be centered around cannabis and not alcohol, we've got that.
Nice.
If you want it to be no alcohol and no cannabis, that's okay. We can make it where you won't miss it.
Right.
We can do non-alcoholic, non-infused, just too. So
Yeah. And you'll still feel amazing.
it can still feel special and exciting.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Well, I really love what you're doing. And I love the drink recipes that you post.
Thank you.
Anybody is like into hosting people at their house or just wants to like make themselves nice little mocktails, Lila is posting some of the best recipes I've ever seen. And now I know that they're the best because I've tried one.
And, a lot of those reels are kits that I offer on my website. So
Oh,
you
nice.
can go to my website and buy that as a kit, and I'll ship it right to you or drop it off to you if you're in Oklahoma City. And it'll come with the 4-pack of seltzer, the syrup, it also comes with the garnishes, and it comes with 2 of my smokes as well. So it's like a little all-in-one kit.
That's so
adorable.
I started making it for one of my friends who doesn't drink. She's in recovery, and she would say, well, can I get some of that? Because she would have to go to work functions that were serving alcohol. So I started making her an option to take with her, and then I would take it to parties myself when I would go, and people were like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? So I started selling them on my website.
Very cool.
That's
So, and
awesome.
I've shipped them all over the place, and it's really fun.
How neat.
That's super neat. Wow.
Like a little treat for yourself,
Yeah. That's
love
really
that.
cool. That's like the beginning of cannabis subscription services.
I just wish I could have had
That's
this
my
in
dream.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost,
You know what,
could
I do
probably
too.
do like a monthly subscription where you just
I've
like,
thought
mix it
about that
up.
because I've been adding new products really frequently. I've just added this one that's actually wrapped all the way around in rose petals.
Oh my god.
And then it's got lavender inside, so the whole cone is covered in roses.
Oh,
They're
that's
just
cool.
so pretty. These are like, if any guys are listening, these would be great gifts for your lady
Listen.
friends. These are they're just so like,
They're beautiful.
Would you like to try some of
and they're
this
so
lavender?
I
beneficial.
would love to.
I sell tons of those at gift shops and places like that because people buy them as little gifts or little add-ons, something to take with you, when you go to a party, things like that.
It's very fun. I love it.
I'll
That
leave
tastes
some
so
with you
good.
guys to try.
The first time I realized that you could like smoke other herbs,
Oh,
like lavender and rose, I was like, are you guys sure this is okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is amazing. It just like really enhances the flavor.
I think so. I do. I mean, this is really good hemp flower to start with, but then I love the fact that you can choose to add more terpenes to it, that
Right.
you know what they're going to do. Because
Yeah.
geraniol is always going to be relaxing. It's always going to be that sweet flavor.
there's so much to highlight about you and your business because you're using natural terpenes.
Yeah.
That's been a really big deal to me. Like I said, I experimented at first with putting some terpenes in the syrups, and it was, people got excited. They're like, "Oh, it's Blue Dream blueberry." But when I figured out putting blueberries and basil and ginger is just as exciting, and it makes the flavor even more full, that's when I was like, okay, I'm onto something.
that is so
And
Absolutely.
I've just been
Absolutely.
developing new things all along, and now I finally have the syrups where they're shelf stable, so I can ship them farther away. So it's been really exciting.
That's so cool. I'm so thankful to know you.
Aw,
It's been really
thanks.
cool to see your journey.
I'm excited because I'm also coming out with canned drinks, so I should have those at the event too.
Oh, lovely.
The CBD version. I'll have
great.
CBD sodas. They're a pineapple vanilla soda that we've put out along with DJ Light Bright,
Oh, fun.
and we're also putting out a guava pineapple THC soda. So those are actually getting canned this weekend. So I'm really excited. We'll be having those in dispensaries, and we'll have the CBD behind the bar at Mimosa Creek.
That's
So-
amazing.
That is amazing.
So we'll have some nice.
So definitely make sure that you can make it to this event.
You gotta
It
come.
is Sunday, July 24th
Yes.
from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We wanted to have it early because it is hot outside.
Yes. Yes.
So definitely come by, grab a CBD mocktail.
Yes.
And Budtenders, please hit me up if you are interested in coming. I have some complimentary drink tickets
Yes.
for you guys. So
Yes.
let
yeah.
me know. But this event is open to the public. So anybody
Yes.
that
And
wants
family
to come,
friendly,
please do.
bring your kids. We'll have kid drinks. We'll have kids activities. We'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Lots of fun things.
That is fun. I want to ask you questions.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
I haven't been a great moderator this episode because I've just been really send out. So I'll let you be the moderator.
There's a lot going on too. I was bringing too much
Yeah.
stuff.
No, it was perfect.
No, this is
has been the
lovely.
most fun episode I've it's just been so chill.
To me, it's more fun to interact than
Yeah.
just talk on and on.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
let's
like the
try
whole
some
theme
stuff.
of the
Let's taste
event,
it. Let's
too,
see.
yeah.
Well, why did you decide to have this event?
Honestly, I just remember going to like science fairs. I mean, originally I just wanted to provide resources for budtenders, but I didn't want it to be like sitting in a classroom, like dull. And I just remember like what really stuck with me, growing up as a kid and even in the cannabis industry today, is like that field trip kind of vibe, or like going to a fair and everybody's like presenting information in a fun way. I really think that leaves a stronger impression on patients and budtenders, and they're able to retain that information better because it's like hands-on interaction. Like, just for example, like we're going to be visualizing like the difference between full spectrum versus broad spectrum versus distillate versus isolate. Like we're going to have activities that really help you see that, because all of these words can get so confusing, especially if you're a new patient or a new budtender. And then, you know, like identifying terpenes with your nose, you're never going to forget that kind of experience. So I just wanted to make it fun and make sure that people are able to get the information that they need to make better choices about their medicine. So
I think it's great how you're bringing in brands too, so they're able to discuss the products with the people that are going to be telling the patient about it.
Yeah. And
so
you know,
the information is getting there correctly.
Absolutely. And you know that if that brand is there, it's because they care about education.
Yes, good point.
Because they are literally not allowed to set up a booth unless they're offering some kind of education.
Yeah.
So they do care. They want to provide information for budtenders and patients. So
It's so great when you can find a brand like that that really cares about the patients and is in it for the right reasons.
Yes.
And I've been like absolutely amazed, because I shot for the stars and I asked all the companies that like I wanted to work with. So I'm really thankful for those who have helped me with this event.
Can't wait to see them.
It's been exciting.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
Just trying to think of another question, because that was my question.
Did I steal your question?
Yes,
Sorry.
but that's okay.
Sorry.
We're all on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
It's the lavender.
It is nice. It is nice. So, big picture, like, what do you anticipate the outcome of this event to be? And that could, I mean, that's a pretty broad question, so you can take it however you want.
Well, I really see this as like just the beginning. I hope that there are more opportunities to host events like this. But really, I just want the community to be able to walk away from this and feel a little bit more empowered. And I want the vendors in this industry, whether they're involved in the event or not, I want them to see that the patients do care. They do want to know how their medicine is being made, how it's being processed, how it's being handled. Like, they want to know that what they're consuming is safe. I think the general consensus is that, like, potheads and stoners, they don't care about where their medicine comes from. And, like, the more I get involved in the community, the more I learn the opposite.
Yes.
And the more I post about what I'm using on the internet, the more people are like, how can I pay more attention? So I know the need is out there, and I'm hoping that overall I can just help the community see that. And a lot of people have asked me, I've gotten this question a lot. Like, this is, obviously I wanted to make this a free event because I believe that education should be free, but people have asked me about like vendors sponsoring and things like that and where that money is going. And it is, every penny is going into the event itself. Like, I want this to be an experience. I'm not making any money off of this. I don't really want to. I want to continue to provide resources, and that is not a free thing to do. So you look at the public school system, and they are funded by the community. So that is why I've asked the community to come in and help me bring this event to life. So just wanted to be transparent on all of that.
And I'm really excited to host. I'm really excited to host this because I just want a lot of people to know about our space and know that we're open to the cannabis industry. It's really hard when you want to throw an event and you want to include cannabis. Immediately that takes out like 90% of the places that you might want to rent for your party. So we're trying to fill that gap.
Absolutely. And your space is beautiful.
Thank you so much. I'm happy with it.
I'm excited. I'm going to go Google and like
There's
Instagram
some pictures on
creep
Google. Check us
and
out.
do all the things. Maybe I'll stop by before. We'll see.
Have you ever had anybody ask about like wedding receptions or engagement parties?
Not yet. I'm actually working on a package for that though. I've been talking to there's one grower I've been speaking with about doing some flower that we could sell for floral purposes. Like we're trying to figure out how to test fresh flower and sell fresh flower. Like it's something I'm working on.
Wow.
So we're working on putting together a wedding package that could include some fresh flower, some CBD and hemp infused food, and just like a mini package.
Yeah.
Because we could do a micro wedding. Our capacity is only 49.
Yeah.
But we have the outdoor space too, and I think we could do some really cute
and
micro
the
cannabis
down
weddings.
by the creek and everything.
Yeah, I
It
think
is
you
so
could do a
beautiful
lot.
down there.
We could do a lot. So
You are so creative.
thank you.
That is so
Catering is what I really
impressive.
love to do. So
Yeah.
if you want to have a wedding, I can show up with 200 cannabis drinks, pour them for your guests, and make everybody really happy.
Oh,
I love
that's
that.
wonderful.
Well, thank you both. Did you have any other questions?
No,
Okay.
I would have to sit here and like.
Yeah, I feel. Does
Drag it
anybody
out.
have an inspirational quote they would like to leave?
Inspirational quote. I
Nothing
would have
I've
prepared
had
one.
lately.
Well, so
I usually hit people off guard, catch people off guard with this one.
So I actually have this app on my phone called the I Am Affirmations.
Uh-huh.
And so I didn't have a quote prepared, but I did get a notification. And so my I Am Affirmation that is on my phone says, I see my happiness makes waves of change.
Oh, that's so perfect.
I love that.
That's a great closer.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'll just leave you guys with a piece of advice. I hope that you do all of the things that fill your heart with joy, as many as you possibly can.
Aw, thank you.
That is sweet.
And I will just say I'm inspired by you both, and I'm excited to watch
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you both for coming on.
Yes.
This is actually going to be the last episode for a while. I am taking some time to pre-film a next season and get some things organized here and there. So
See you
we're
next
actually
time.
closing out the season here.
I'm on the
Okay.
bookend.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
you were the first and the last guest of this
Wow.
season.
Alpha
so how
and
appropriate.
Omega. No. How
I
fun.
love that. Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back to Wednesdays at 7 p.m. as soon as possible.
Rock on.